One of the things that I'm growing in this back garden for the first time this year are potatoes. And I have never grown potatoes at all, let alone in this space. So this has been a learning curve for me. I did plant them, I think, far too early, and not all of them survived my excited attempt to plant them in early April in Minnesota. So that was a lesson learned. But I did have some that are looking like they're alive. So what I wanted to look at right now are the areas that have potato. So what you see here is amaranth. This is amaranth. This is actually the comfrey that I have in this same bed. These are 4x4 raised beds, so not very large. If we get a better angle here, this is potato, what's starting to brown here. So they did flower, and now they're dying back a bit, and that is natural and normal for the potato. So the reason why I have so much shoved in one bed is because I am excited and impatient and I want to grow more than what I have space for. So when I first planted these potatoes in the beginning of April, I waited a few weeks and I didn't see anything and I figured they were dead. So then I direct sowed a bunch of amaranth because I wanted to have something come into the garden and not be sad. And then I ended up ordering the comfrey, and then the comfrey needed a space to be, so I planted the comfrey here as well. And then lo and behold, once everything started sprouting, I thought, oh, what is that? Oh, that's potato. They didn't die. So now I have a bunch in this bed, and we'll see how well it does with having so much mixed in it. This amaranth is quite tall already. This is the Golden Giant amaranth, and I really like amaranth. So I direct seeded a bunch here as well, and then in here is this red hoppy amaranth, but down here again, a little bit of potato. That's also starting to brown naturally, also has already flowered, and the flowers have died back. So the thing I want to look at right now is this. My understanding from what I've been reading is that these are called the shoulders of the potatoes, which means that the potato is poking out of the ground. I think that the reason why they are doing that is because something that was recommended with growing potatoes was a technique called hilling, where you would actually hill up dirt over the potatoes as they grew. And I did not do that because I had never grown potatoes before and I didn't exactly know what to do. And like I said, I had overplanted so much in this bed in my excitement that I'd given up on them. But now that they're here and they're alive, now I really want to make sure that I actually get one. So what I'm gonna do right now is just lightly cover with dirt the few potatoes that I see popping out of the ground, and then I'm gonna toss some mulch over the top as well. And hopefully that will keep them safe until the plant itself completely dies back and I'm ready to harvest. So what I'm gonna do right now is the bit of, I won't call it hilling because I'm not actually hilling anything, but my attempt to see what will happen in covering these. So that is the little bit of potato. I'm just gonna cover that a little with dirt. The little sprouts all around it are amaranth still sprouting because that's what I do to myself. There's some back here I'm just gonna cover with dirt. I have squirrels that are trying to dig these up now too. So I really wanna try and find any of those shoulders that are out and make sure I get rid of them. I also have read that those shoulders turn green or oxidized somehow in the sunlight, and then they'll be rotten. So if you don't actually cover the shoulders that poke out, your whole potato will be worthless anyways, and I don't want that to happen for the potential 7 potatoes I'll get this year. So I'm just gonna keep finding any that are popping out and putting a little bit of dirt on top of them. I actually found my biggest one here as I was finding ones to cover, and it made me really excited, so I thought I'd film this one as I found it. That's my biggest one so far. When I start to kind of uncover it around there. But I don't want to totally uncover it because it's not time yet. So again, I have my dirt here. All I'm doing is taking some old compost that's in the bottom of a bucket left over from something I planted and putting it over that. The other thing I read about covering potatoes was to mulch well. I did not mulch well around those potatoes like I did here, and this is just kind of ground up wood chips and dirt. So I'm gonna cover the areas that I just covered with that dirt, those shoulders for the potatoes that were coming out, and I'm just gonna lightly cover them with a little bit of mulch, and hopefully that'll keep them even further suppressed and keep them from rotting until it's time to harvest them. So this is what the end result looks like. I just put some dirt down and then put some of that wood chip mulch over it on this little area where I saw some shoulders coming out, on this area where I saw some shoulders coming out, and then over here on this area is the other area where I noticed some of those potato shoulders, if you will. So they're all covered now. There's some dirt and some mulch over them, and I'm going to follow up on them and see how they fare. So I'll end this by my daughter's zinnias and the Mexican sunflowers here, because these are popping and they're pretty, and she'll be excited to come out and see those. But I will end this by saying that this is, again, reminder, my first year growing potatoes, attempting to grow potatoes. And so I am probably making rookie mistakes and perhaps not doing exactly what I should be doing for potatoes. And I don't know how well they'll turn out, but that's part of what I really enjoy about gardening, is that learning process. And that's part of what I want to do with this type of filming, is just as someone who is still learning and will make mistakes and will need to adjust things, I would rather document all that and share it as a beginning gardener or intermediate gardener than do nothing while I wait to be perfect. Because if I wait, then nothing will ever get done. So I'll film whenever the potatoes actually die back and I dig those up. It'll be fun to film and see how many potatoes I actually got for my first attempt at growing them. Planting them too early, not hilling them, finding that the shoulders were sticking out, frantically covering them with dirt and mulch, overplanting with too many things near them, and not knowing what I should plant near them. So they have a lot of obstacles to overcome. So we'll see how many I actually dig out and we can eat. That'll be fun though. Now we'll start.
Mom, are you digging them out for me?
We're gonna start. Sweetie, you gonna come over here?
Bumblebees can't be a part of my life.
Just try not to bump the camera because then it'll tip over. So I planted these mid-April, and we're gonna, now you can see this is completely brown and dead. These areas that used to be potato stalks of the plant. So we're gonna see if we got any Tates. Yeah?
We found one. Mom,
Yeah?
for some reason the bumblebees like me.
Oh, you're sweet.
Oh, Mom, I'm ripping it open. Is that okay?
You don't,
is
you
it
don't want to
on?
break the
Is
skin.
this thing, Mom? Oh, we found
Yep,
one.
the camera's on.
No, Mom.
Oh,
Can't be
oh, that's a little turdy guy.
We are excavating a potato.
Yeah, we'll see how big they are.
Don't touch that.
So all you do, these dead areas are where the potato
That's a
plants
little
were.
turdy one.
Yeah, this is a little bitty guy. But you stick your shovel in and you kind of dig up the soil. Yep, you want to go around it so you actually pop it up so you don't cut it on accident. Yeah, look at that little guy.
Oh, Mom!
He'll be a fun little meal.
I found one.
Yeah.
We found... Solomon found a big one! Ooh, yeah! Mom's is a bit bigger, but... Oh, cool!
That one popped right up with the...
Oh, Mom, I found a root. Oh, man. This one's mine. Really good. Mom,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I want to be a potato farmer.
Hey,
Me too.
that would be a fun job. I want to pull up. This is actually amaranth. And
We need to chop that.
And I'm just going to pull up the amaranth because we won't need that now.
When you're pulling it up, you may find some.
And we'll put that all in the compost bin. So this is all potato plant that we're going to pull up. But you can just start digging like we did in the last one and see what you find.
What? Mom.
I think that's the biggest one yet.
It's like the size of an apple. Maybe even bigger than an apple.
Oh, another decent one.
This is Mom. You dug up a decent one. See? Decent.
This is the plant.
Potatoes! Oh, Mom! I found a huge one!
Oh, yep. That's the jackpot over there.
Mom, I'm glad that I pulled this one up. I'm really glad. Yeah, this is
Because
big,
you found
Mom.
all kinds of them in there.
This is big. Look, this is madness. Can I hold this up to the camera? Whoa, we're getting a Look, Mom, this is madness.
That is amazing. So
I already moved back.
Thank you. I put mulch down because some of them were Can you hold that up to the camera? Yeah, some of them were their shoulders were uncovered.
Look.
That means you could see them through the dirt, and I didn't want them to get yucky. Oh, little babies.
Mom,
I think that's the biggest one yet. Good job. This
found
is
a
a potato
big one.
plant, so all around under here should be
I'm hitting
potatoes.
something. Oh, Mom, the dry, crusty, brown potato plants means that they're ready for you to pull potatoes.
Yep. Once the potato plant, now this is
This is getting
a
too
green,
stiff.
here, we'll pull this in. This is a green potato plant, so that one we're gonna keep in the ground so the potatoes can grow. Once it turns to this and it's dead and brown and looks like it died, then that's where we dug up the potatoes and found the big ones underneath ready.
Huge ones.
Yeah,
I mean it huge. Like this one.
yeah.
Huge. These are some potatoes that we got from 3 corners of the bed. You see, right there.
So this is our first potato harvest. And I did not find any green or rotten parts on them, which means that that attempt to cover them with dirt that I did a few weeks ago in the beginning of the video here, that seemed to work. There's nothing rotten or green on them. And we did only dig up the areas that were totally dead. I left the 1 or 2 green still living plants. I left those. Oh, this got a little cut up with a spade. But I left those so that we can dig those up once that plant dies back. So, not too bad.